All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over all of the god rolls of every Iron Banner weapon currently acquirable, because so many people ask that question over and over and over again. What's the god roll of this? What's the god roll of that? So I'm going to reference people of this video right here. And on top of that, I'm going to be answering the second most popular question I get when Iron Banner is out like it is this week, which is which weapons should I farm for? Which are the most meta, most powerful weapons in the current sandbox, which are the ones that I should farm for. So for PvP, so if I want to succeed in trials or wherever it may be. So I'm going to answer both those questions here, right? So obviously playing Iron Banner, you're going to get a bunch of tokens. You're going to get the most tokens from doing these bounties, but you also get some from winning matches or even just completing matches. After you've gotten a fat stack and you go to turn these bad boys in, here are a list of all of the god rolls that are worth chasing for in order from most powerful to least powerful, right? The first and most powerful weapon to chase for is certainly this multi-mod god roll. This thing is nasty. Very, very good. Very much worth your time. The real god roll is going to be Dynamic Sway, Iron Reach. Kickflip is also pretty good though for sixes, but Iron Reach is probably going to be the best overall paired with Dynamic Sway. This is going to give you crazy range with a 900 RPM SMG, extremely lethal. You got accurized rounds. We've got Model 8 scope right here, and we're going to have a range masterwork. And we're going to throw Icarus Grip on this. This is definitely a weapon worth chasing for. And out of all the Iron Banner weapons, this is the most meta weapon in my opinion. Next up, we're going to talk about the Raz Walker, though. A very close second to that. We've got Iron Reach Quick Draw, a really good roll for this. We're going to pair with that Assault Mag, Full Choke, a Ranged Masterwork, and we're going to throw Quick Access Sling on as the mod. If you're out there farming and you get a Raz Walker very comparable or close to this at all, definitely hang on to this bad boy. A very, very strong and meta weapon to use currently in PvP. Next up, we'll talk about the Occluded Finality. Now, this is a little bit more specific to controller users, but it still does work really well for mouse and keyboard. It's just going to have a lot more zoom, and that zoom tends to help aim assist more than it does, mouse and keyboard aim. So, snapshot, opening shot, of course, flared magwell, fluted barrel for that handling masterwork, and then we're going to throw Icarus Grip on that. This would be the third most important weapon to farm for, in my opinion, but if you're on controller, this honestly could be like the first one, especially if you like using the last word. Pairs extremely well with this bad boy. Next up, we have the Steady Hand. Now, a lot of people might go with like a quick draw snapshot roll on this, but there is a really fun roll you can use on this, which has Slide Shot, my favorite perk for a primary ammo weapon. Slide Shot on this bad boy paired with Iron Grip is actually really, really fun. So keep that in mind, or you could even use something like Iron Gaze, I suppose, but you don't want to drop that range for the aim assist. But Slide Shot on this is a great perk here. We've got Ricochet rounds. Fast Draw is going to be the sight of choice, a handling masterwork, and then we'll throw Icarus Grip on that. Now, this is a 120 RPM hand cannon. The real meta right now are the 140s, but these 120s aren't half bad if you keep the proper distance. So keep that in mind. Like I said, most people probably would say something like Quick Draw Snapshot for the God roll, but I personally like the Slide Shot roll, and I think it pairs pretty cool with something like Iron Grip because this slows your reload speed down significantly, but it doesn't matter if you have Slide Shot. So I think that's a cool perk synergy there on that one. Next up, we're going to talk about the Fool's Remedy. My personal favorite sidearm inside Destiny 2 for PvP. Rangefinder, best perk in slot here. Moving Target, probably the best perk in slot here. There's really not too many amazing options here, but Moving Target is going to be really good, especially if you're on controller. On mouse and keyboard, this might not be the most appealing, but not bad. That extra movement can be nice with a sidearm if you need to backpedal a little bit. High caliber rounds so we can flinch people. Far point so we can get as much range on this as possible, and a range masterwork with Icarus Grip mod. Next up, we're talking about the Finite Impactor. Now, this is not a meta 140 RPM hand cannon, but we've gotten pretty far down the list now. We're on the 6th most or least popular weapon from Iron Banner. We're going to go with Firmly Planted Eye of the Storm as the best roll. We're going to go with Ricochet rounds here, Fast Draw Sight, Range Masterwork, and Icarus Grip as the mod. Now, obviously, Palindrome outclasses this weapon in every way. So at this point in time, I would say these weapons and below are weapons that are, they're decent. If you get a good roll, I mean, hang on to it, right? But there's certainly better weapons out there, so keep that in mind. And we'll talk about the Time Worn Spire as well. A 540 RPM pulse, one that I actually kind of like a little bit, but the rolls on it really aren't that great. The best roll is going to be Under Pressure and Rampage. That's like the best roll you can get on it with Ricochet, Micro Sight here, and then we've got a Range Masterwork, and we're going to throw Counterbalance Stock on this. So this is the best roll of this weapon, but truly there's a bunch of other 540 RPM pulses that are significantly better than this. Next, we'll talk about the Forward Path 600 RPM auto rifle. We're going to go with Dynamic Sway is like almost always the best perk on these auto rifles. Pair that with Tap the Trigger so we can just turn this into a true laser gun. You could use some other perks in here this slot though, but I think Tap the Trigger is going to be the best. And then we'll have accurized rounds to get that range. We'll go with Red Dot Micro for even more range, and a Range Masterwork so that way we can make up for the lack of range on these bad boys. This is actually a pretty decent auto rifle in the current sandbox. Now the last two weapons if you do get these, I'm sorry, RNG hates you. These weapons suck, frankly. And even the god roll of a terrible weapon is probably not worth keeping. Like, even if I got the god roll of this guiding sight, I would probably dismantle it. Rapid hit, iron gaze, iCal, hit mark, and handling masterwork. And I would throw a targeting adjuster on here, I guess. Like, this is like the best. This weapon just has such bad perks, and it's a 150 RPM that it's really hard to like make an argument for keeping this. And then the Archons Thunder, I would do snapshot, killing wind. This is the best roll. This is the god roll of this weapon, I think. But again, I don't think it's a very good weapon. Snapshot, killing wind, steady rounds, airhead break. We're gonna max out the recoil direction, as much stability and handling as we can get on this, handling masterwork. But overall, there's such better weapons than these two. So again, if you do get these two, honestly, just dismantle, even if it is a god roll. If you get these weapons right here, you get these three, the Finite, the Time Worn Spire, the Forward Path, you get a god roll, I'd keep and hang on to them, but just know there's significantly better weapons out there. And if you get a god roll of these 5 weapons, know you have something very special and definitely worth keeping. The MultiMod, the Raz Walker, the Occluded, the Steady Hand, and the Fool's Remedy are definitely worth keeping, those god rolls. So that's a wrap on this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you agree or disagree with any of my opinions, feel free to comment down below. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe with notifications on, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.